Welcome to My Long Island TV. From Manhasset to Montauk, we have traveled our communities to bring you the following events. I'm your host, Waldo Cabrera. My Long Island TV starts now.
I tell the story every year, so you guys heard it, it's all right. I'm introducing the speaker, and I says, please welcome Jim Bishop. And then he came up here, and he said hello to the audience, and he said, and I want to thank Bernie.
Tim Bishop has been a friend of this organization, and I think he's earned his keep as a congressman. You know, we always like to see competition coming in, and maybe that's what keeps people sharp. But he is sharp, and I thought he hit on some great points. And when I suggested him talk about infrastructure, he had something to say.
I've got a bill that I think is absolutely crucial to the future of Long Island, and that is a bill that would significantly enhance the federal government's investment in wastewater infrastructure. Not a sexy subject, I know. I've been here, I think every year I've been in office at least once, and I've gotten to know a great many of them. I think they do great work, and so I'm happy to come here as often as they invite me. We looked at who the employers are. Here are the top 20 employers in New York 1. The top one by far and away is Stony Brook University. Has almost 21,000 employees. The next largest employer in New York 1 has about 3,500 employees. So by a factor of 6, Stony Brook University is the largest employer in the district. But I'm looking at this somewhat simplistically, and one of the things I've been looking at and saying is if something is good for the Stony Brook University, it's good for Suffolk County. It just is. What I talked about really was the job creation value of investment in infrastructure and investment in education. And I think that we have been deficient in both. And I think that we have great opportunities, particularly in the heavy construction industry, which has experienced a serious job loss as a result of a disinvestment in infrastructure at all levels of government, from the federal government on down. And we have a crumbling infrastructure. We have a workforce that's skilled and ready, willing, and able to go. We've got to put them back to work, improve our infrastructure, and at the same time, make a dramatic improvement in our economy. We have 3.5 million jobs in this country that right now aren't filled, because people don't have the skills necessary to fill it. And so the job one in job creation is to see to it that we have trained people to take on the jobs that are going wanted right now.
As a lifelong educator and member of elected official and as Board of Education, I want to make sure that we fully align the two worlds, the business world and the education world. I think they're critical for each other, particularly with technology and the new needs of technology in the workplace today, that we have to train kids for those jobs, for those new jobs.
The watchword in the federal government is austerity. And what I'm proposing is to move an annual expenditure from $690 million to $2.8 billion. Now that's not an easy sell.
Well, I was extremely impressed with Tim Bishop, that he knew so much detail on so many wide variety of subjects. And I got to learn about what's happening in Congress with respect to federal funding of infrastructure projects.
We're looking for a prosperous economy. And without the good infrastructure, you hurt, and that's what we want to prevent. But we also handle things like education, which he did talk about, because that's part of our infrastructure as well. It's not bricks and mortar, it's the intellectual infrastructure that gets the things done. So that, you know, we covered a lot of bases here today.